Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm continuing to work on the hashtag Little Bits of Lace 2024. The challenge was started by Cori Dahmen, and I do have all of her information listed below in the description box if you open it up, her original video. I also have links to all of my previous videos if this is just your first time tuning in to my series that I've been working on. But basically the premise is to use up little bits of lace in our stash, in our journals. So I've been coming up with all sorts of different ideas, some my own, some that I have seen other people do. And today I decided to do some Scrappy Pads. Earlier in this series we did do some like lace sampler pads, and this is pretty much kind of the same idea except for we're mixing in paper into these Scrappy Pads. And I have one that I just haven't really decorated it, but you can see that I have some lace and some scrap paper and some more lace and leftover bits of paper. And these ones I did choose to ink the edges, and I kind of alternated with tea-dyed paper and scrapbooking paper. And then I also folded over a piece of paper and stitched the top, and then it gives me an opportunity to add a couple of things to decorate up there. So I thought we can finish decorating this one together, but we also have this one to put together just so you can see the steps. And you can make a decision if you want to ink your edges or not, and I think I'm going to. So to start with, I am going to take this scrap piece of paper, and I believe it's like 3 by 2 approximately, and it doesn't really matter what size you have, just some sort of scrap paper that you can fold over your Scrappy Pad. So size really doesn't matter. I'm going to choose to, and this is just scrapbooking paper, I'm going to round my edges. I'm also going to ink the edges of this one. And then next I'm going to also, I think, ink the edges of the paper scraps that I've picked out. And for this purpose of this one today, I just have 2 pieces of tea-dyed paper and then also a leftover piece of music paper. Again, you can use whatever works for you. And I'm just going to ink the edges. And I'm using Victorian Velvet Distressing. I'm just looking for a little bit more of a shabby feel, so that's why I'm using a colored ink versus like the vintage photo or a brown ink. So now that I have inked my edges, I'm just going to layer my paper up again and lay down some lace in between the layers. And again, for me, I am describing little bits of lace as anything 12 inches or less. This was a remnant from a panel, and these ones are just different laces that I've had in my stash. And so I think that's going to work. And then I have this piece of folded scrapbooking paper. I'm going to put this over here. And so my next step is to go ahead to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to sew across on that one. But I'm going to do another type of Scrappy Pad with you before I go to the sewing machine. So I'll put this one aside for right now. And I also have another style of Scrappy Pad. And I just chose, let's see, there's 1, 2, I'm just going to use 3 pieces. I'm not going to ink the edges on this one. But so I have 3 pieces of paper that I folded in half, and these ones are 8 by about 2 1/4 this way. And I folded them in half, and they don't have to be perfect. Again, these are just remnants that I cut off from some other tea-dye paper. And then earlier we also created some of those snippet rolls. And so I thought that would be fun to make a little cover. So I just created a little cover for this one. And so what I'm going to do on this one when I go to the sewing machine is I'm just going to do a straight stitch down the middle. And that's how I'm going to put this one together. So I have that one to do. And then I also have a couple little ones to do. And these ones are really Scrappy Pads out of really little bits of paper. And then what I did for these ones is I just decided to find one piece of scrap lace just to layer on these little scrappy pads. These ones are kind of fun to put in like small envelopes in your journals. And again, on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up because again, they've just been, you know, little scraps of paper folded in half. And I'm just going to sew across the middle. So again, here's another one. This one, I just put this piece of lace on the cover, but you can see I have all different little styles of folded paper. Again, these were just scraps sitting next to my paper cutter. And I just usually like to make 2 or 3 at the same time when I make these types of scrappy pads, and I just fold up whatever paper is sitting next to my paper cutter. And this time I'm just choosing to add just one little piece of lace on all these. And again, I'm just going to sew down the middle of all of these. And here's another one with a remnant of lace. And this piece of lace, I'm just going to layer it this way and of course sew down the middle. So that'll be the front and that'll be the back side. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of my different projects here to my sewing machine, and we'll come back and finish decorating them. So here's what I have so far. Here's that scrappy pad that put together with paper and lace. Here's the one using the snippet roll as the cover. Then here's just some random little scrappy ones. Again, just scraps with the lace that I put on the outside of them. So these ones I don't think, you know, maybe I'll decorate this one, but these two I think I'm just going to leave as is. I'm not going to do anything more to these two. And I'll just save those for something down the road. But let's decorate these ones. So let's start with, and then I also had this one from before, so let's decorate that one too. But this one I feel like this piece of lace is a little long, so I'm just going to trim off a little bit on the base of this one. And this piece will be good for, either I can use that on a snippet or add it to a snippet roll. Or maybe we'll figure out something now to add it while we're decorating. So let me make sure I'm on camera here. And so I did pull out, I'm just going to lay this out too, I think. And then let's lay this one too to decorate. And this one maybe I'll cut down this part here, but I'm not sure. But let's just lay out some laces and trims and different things that we've made. So in the past we did do like a paper and lace cluster or snippet. And so what I was thinking for this one would be perfect would be just to glue this one on the top of this snippet roll. And so we'll do that. And I'll probably just do that off camera and show you what it looks like. But I mean, like, I think that's really cute. So I think that one's finished. I have some other pieces of scrap lace sitting here. I also grabbed out, you know, we did some different labels also in the past with our little bits of lace. We also did like button and lace and fabric clusters or snippets. So we have those two that we could add. So let me look here. I'm thinking this is kind of cute. So here's one that we did before. And so I'm going to just glue this one, I think, on the top of this. And I'm going to call that one done. So there's 2 done. So now we just have these 2 to do. And so let's see. I had this leftover piece of lace that got snipped off of some, you know, there was more lace at the bottom, but just this top part. And I'm thinking that would be cute on top of one of these scrappy pads. So let's try it there for right now. I also have these 2 little gathered pieces. And we could put one of these or both on one of those, but I'm not 100% sure. This would look cute just going down the middle. Here's another piece of leftover trim with flowers. I think that comes from, I've either bought that from Kim at Angel Dreams Crafts or else Lavish Laces. I think it's Lavish Laces though on that one. So that's kind of cute. I do like that. Or you could just use one of the flowers. So we'll just see, you know, another little button and lace cluster. But let's see, I have a couple of sentiments labels that we made with lace. And I'm thinking that that might be the route that I want to go on these. I also have this little piece left over from a lace thing too. I could put that just to use it up. I keep on grabbing it out of my stash. Maybe I could somehow lay it on here and glue it underneath here. That's kind of cute. So yeah, let's do that for that one. Let me look at this one a little closer. If I just want one piece of lace on this one, or if I want two, just to use up a little bit more, because I can layer both of those underneath the label. Yeah, I kind of like that. So we'll call that one good. So the rest of the stuff I'll just set aside. Since I do have this one out, I'm going to go ahead and add it to this other one that we did, just to add a little bit more something to this one. So we'll go ahead and add that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all of these, and then I'll come back and show you the finished result. So here's the final results of the Scrappy Pads with lace. So here's the one again with the snippet roll, and adding a little paper and lace cluster to the top of that one. That one was really quick and easy if you already have all the other pieces put together. And then another one with the lace and the paper, and then just decorating the top with a lace and fabric and label. Another fabric and lace label with some other layers underneath it, and again the Scrappy Pad with different layers of lace in between the papers. Very cute. And then here was one where we added on the Scrappy Pad we just added a piece of lace on the outside, and then I went ahead and I glued on a button and lace cluster. And then I did end up gluing it onto the top piece of paper that I had in this Scrappy Pad, just for a little extra stability. But I thought that turned out really cute too. So there was 4 little Scrappy Pads with lace on them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. And I think I still have 2 more things that I really want to do in this series, and then I'm going to call it done and put my journal together. And I was kind of trialing it out the other day, and I think I'm going to have to make some adjustments to it because my signature has gotten really fat. And so I will show you guys at the end how I'm going to fix that and make it a little bit bigger of a journal cover. So if you are interested in that, make sure you kind of stay tuned to the end of the series. But again, I think there'll be 2 more after this of ideas that I have with little bits of lace, and then I'm going to put the journal together and then kind of see where I'm at after that. So thank you again, everybody, so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.